A park, square in shape, has a 3-meter wide road inside it running along its sides. The area occupied by the road is 1764 square meters. What is the perimeter along the outer edge of the road? So you have a situation like this. The area enclosed by this red square is the park, and the shaded region is the road, which is of 3 meters wide, and it is running along the sides of this park. And you have been given the area of this shaded region, and that's 1764 meters square. Now you have been asked what is the perimeter along the outer edge of the road. That means the perimeter of this red square. Okay, so let us assume that the side of inner square is S. So the side of the outer square will be S plus 6, isn't it? We have 3 meters on both the sides, so this will be S plus 6. Okay, now the area of the outer square minus the area of the inner square will give you this area of the shaded region. So I have S plus 6 whole square minus S square will be equals to 1764. Okay, let us solve this. S square plus 2 times S times 6, that's 12S, plus 6 square, that's 36, minus S square is equals to 1764. This S square and this S square gets cancelled out. What remains is 12S is equals to 1764 minus 36. So 12S is equal to 1728. So S is equals to 1728 divided by 12, and that is equals to 144. So this is the side of this inner square. Side of the outer square will be 144 plus 6, and that's 150. So 150 is the side of the outer square, and you need the perimeter of the outer square. So perimeter is equals to 4 times the side of a square. So this is 4 times 150, and that is 600 meters. So we have the answer as option B. A man walked diagonally across a square lot. Approximately what was the percentage saved by not walking along the edges? So this is the diagrammatic representation of our question. We have a square lot, and a man starts from here, right, and he goes diagonally across. Now if this man had to travel along the edges, he would have traveled like this. Okay, now let us assume that if this man walks along the edges, he walks, let's say, 100 kilometers. So the distance traveled along the edges we have assumed as 100 units. Okay, so as this complete distance is 100 units, the half of it will be 50 units. So the man travels 50 units horizontally and 50 units vertically. Now let us calculate how much distance he travels when he walks diagonally. Let this be x. Now as this is a square, this will be a right angled triangle, this one. So we can apply Pythagoras theorem. So we have x square is equals to 50 square plus 50 square. So therefore x square is equals to 2500 plus 2500, and that will be equals to x square is equals to 25 plus 25 is 50, and this 100, so 5000. So therefore x is equals to under root of 5000, and this will be equals to 70.71 if you solve it. Now you can write 70.71 as approximately 70. Okay, now you have been asked what was the percentage saved. Now we can call it percentage because we took the base value as 100. Now what was the percentage saved? To calculate that, we will have to subtract 70 from 100. So 100 minus 70, and that is equal to 30% was saved. Okay, if had he traveled along the edges, he would have traveled 100 kilometers, but he traveled diagonally, so he traveled only 70 kilometers. So he saved 30 kilometers. So in our context, he saved 30%. So option C is the correct answer. The area of a square field is 69,696 square centimeter. What is the length of its diagonal? So this is your square. Let us say that it has side S. What will be the length of the diagonal? Well, this being a right angle triangle, you can apply Pythagoras theorem. So S square plus S square taken under root. So the diagonal will be under root of S square plus S square, and that's root 2S square, right? So in other words, I can say root 2S as the diagonal. Now you have been given the area. Area is equals to side square. So side square is equals to 69696. Right? You have the value of S square. Diagonal is equals to root 2 S square. Right? So this will be root of 2 into 69696. Right? So you can split this up. Root 2 times root 69696. So this is equals to under root 2 is 1.414 times. If you calculate the under root of 69696, you will get it as 264. Right? So 1.414 times 264, and that is 373.296 if you calculate. And this will be in centimeters. Okay? So the length of the diagonal we have found out. Option C is the correct answer. If the ratio of areas of two squares is 225 is to 256, then what is the ratio of their perimeters? Well, you have been given the ratio of the areas. So I can write A1 by A2 is equals to 225 by 256. Now, what is the formula for the area of a square? And that is side square. So I can write S1 square by S2 square is equals to 225 by 256. Taking under root on both the sides, I get this. Okay. Now, under root of S1 square is S1, under root of S2 square is S2. So S1 by S2 is equal to root 225, that's 15, upon root 256, that's 16. This is one thing we have found out. Now we have been asked what is the ratio of their perimeters. So P1 by P2. What is the formula for the perimeter of a square? That is 4 times the side. So for P1 we have 4 times S1 upon, for P2 we have 4 times S2. So this gets cancelled out. This is basically S1 by S2, and that is 15 by 16. So the ratio is 15 is to 60, isn't it? So option C is the correct answer.